This is Backdoor Boink, where we welcome every side of everyone. Please note, this is an 18-plus podcast. It's time to put in some earbuds if you don't want to answer awkward questions from your children, family, or friends. I'm Kayla, a certified relationship and intimacy coach.
And I'm MJ, and I brought the lube.
In this podcast, we explore the behind the scenes of a weekly wellness topic. Our goal is to help you feel good, be naughty. Thank you for checking out our After Dark, After Hours podcast. You can find more information, including our YouTube channel, social media accounts, events, Discord, and products at boinked.com. That's www.boink-ed.com. Now, let's get in that back door. Button.
Who's got the button?
I got the button.
You've got both buttons.
I'm only aware of...
You've got the start button, and you've got the finish button.
Well, actually, technically...
Or is that the start button, too?
Well, 3 buttons.
Outdoor belly button?
No, 4 buttons. Belly button, clitoris, G-spot, A-spot.
Record.
Okay, 5 buttons. How many buttons you got?
All of them.
Oh, my gosh. P-spot, belly button.
Button nose.
Button, oh, my God. All right, moving on. Today's topic.
Let's get into it. Elbow deep.
Elbow deep. That is an option regarding this particular topic. But it could be just like...
Ankle deep, too.
What?
Oh, that's a thing.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, my idea was that we were talking about fisting. Mm-hmm. Would you call that footing?
I suppose.
I guess. I think fisting has more to do with the size than it does...
Have you seen my feet?
I do not want.
I'm not saying put them in. I'm saying the size.
They're massive. Hold on. Before we get any further with this level of weird, anytime we get into a topic that is obscure or particularly naughty or particularly kinky, I like to tell people, you don't have to be into it. I'm challenging you to listen and learn.
Okay.
Just open-minded. You never know when somebody might need this information. Just listen and learn. Fair?
That's fair.
Okay. The more educated you are, the better. Okay, so, yes, you have ginormous feet.
Mm-hmm.
What size shoe are you?
Depends on the shoe, 13 or 14.
Yeah. It's hard for you to find shoes.
Yeah.
You have big feet. What does big feet mean?
Solid footing.
And we've come full circle to footing. Okay. So, fisting. Where do we start?
Take your rings off.
Ooh, that's a really good start. You always come up with great little tidbits. Like my brain goes to the big main facts.
Warm up and lube.
Warm up and lube.
Mm-hmm.
Take your rings off. I'm going to add to that. Clean, trimmed nails.
Hygiene.
General hygiene.
Yeah.
Now, fisting can apply to 2 different orifices. I don't see anybody fisting an ear or a mouth. So
I don't know. You should see the video I saw this morning.
Where were you?
I was in a chat room.
Oh my gosh. Did somebody fist a mouth?
Yeah.
For reals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
You're going to have to send me that video. All right. So I stand corrected.
But anyway, generally you're talking about the lower 2 orifices.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
I think for the purpose of this podcast, we'll stick with that. I don't have a knowledge base about fisting mouths. So, flavored lube, I guess, would be my only...
There's nothing wrong with flavored lube.
No.
Could use flavored lube down lower, too.
You could.
It might be a waste of the flavoring, depending on what you're doing after.
Agreed. All right. So, going into it, removing the rings, trimmed, clean, fingernails, and hands, lots of lube. Those are starter basics.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, let's get dirtier about it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Why do it?
Why not?
That's a very valid reason. That's a very valid response.
Why are you doing it? Ask yourself that.
Well,
because you want a challenge or because you enjoy it?
What if you don't know if you enjoy it?
Then you're up for a challenge to find out whether or not you can A, do it, and B, enjoy it.
Okay.
For science.
For science. I really wish that more individuals and couples took that approach. For science, it's like trying a new food. You're thinking hard.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it is. I mean, you try it. You don't like it, you can stop doing it. Like a food, you can just spit it out.
Yeah, so ideally, you don't like it, you don't do it again. As long as everybody involved goes into it, any of these explorations, with the understanding, hey, we're just going to try it. No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is it pleasurable?
Could be.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, fuck yeah, it is.
I don't see why it's not.
Fuck yeah, it is. As adverse as I was to the idea once upon a time.
I don't want porno pussy.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah, that is something we need to address. So, for those of you that don't know, porno pussy was once upon a time my beloved term for the idea of a stretched out vagina.
It was a misconception that you had.
It's a common misconception that people have.
It is.
Full-blown, mature adults into their years believe that stretching out a vagina to a point of
no return
is possible.
Yeah, I don't think that's the thing. Sorry.
It's not. It's absolutely debunked.
I mean, yes, you can stretch out a vagina. Yes, but it's only going to be temporary.
Thank you. It
will go back to its factory settings.
It's factory settings. Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
Well, ask any mother out there.
Yeah.
Who is given birth vaginally.
Yep.
Are they walking around with a watermelon-sized vagina? No,
absolutely
because it
not.
returns to its original state, or
near original. And I'm not talking.
We'll depending on the birth, we'll say near original.
Near original. So I'm not including tearing and stuff like that.
Right.
Tearing, stitches, scarring. That is.
It happens.
But as far as its general tightness, yeah, that comes back.
Tightness, elasticity, whatever.
Okay.
It returns to its factory default settings.
Yes. What's really interesting to me is that there is this misconception that vulva owners having a lot of sex with different partners is going to equate to what we are now referring to as porno pussy. I love that term. I'm sorry. It was our Wi-Fi password for the longest time. But for some reason, there's no general misconception that having a lot of sex with one partner is going to lead to this phenomenon. Like, what? It's slut shaming.
It is.
It's slut shaming at its core. It's slut shaming on an urban legend level. That's what I'm looking for.
But what's the deal with the male porn stars? Do they walk around with pickled dick?
That's exactly right. So for some reason, there's no shaming when it comes to the idea of the penis getting bigger. It gets hard. It gets longer. It gets fatter. Why do we not have this similar misconception that it's going to end up stretched out if you get too many erections, dude? Like,
or if you put it into too many different holes, you're going to end up with a pickle dick.
Right.
You know, just whatever.
It's bullshit. They're made out of the same biological tissue that has some amazing elasticity qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is not untrue either for the, you want to say it. Say it.
Asshole.
I was going with anus, but yes. Yes, absolutely true for the asshole as well.
Anus. Come on, get it right.
Oh, now look at what you did to me. All right. Absolutely. So, first off, we went into those quick little tidbits, but second off, if you choose to participate in fisting, you're not causing when done right, you're not causing irreparable damage to the orifices in question.
No, not to my knowledge.
No, just in general. What is your go-to phrase about the anus?
I don't know.
You said it last night when we were discussing this as a topic.
Oh, that's not really my go-to phrase, but you know, it is big enough for a raccoon to fit in theory.
In theory. Where the fuck did you hear this?
On the internet.
So it must be true.
Exactly.
I'm about to Google this shit. Can the anus fit a raccoon? I love the new Google AI, how it just gives you a very specific answer. Okay, ready for this? Yes, the human anus can stretch up to 7 inches without damage, while a raccoon can squeeze into holes as tight as 4 inches.
I rest my case.
That means, technically, you could fit 2 raccoons up your anus. Oh, Google. I fucking love this new AI. Oh, that was worth the little tangent. You can fit 2 raccoons.
I just hope they're not angry and they get along.
Oh, okay. All right. So fisting can be pleasurable.
Yes.
And I am talking specifically for vulva owners because that is my experience with fisting. It is this sense of total filling. I mean, we talk about girth being, in some cases, more important than length. And that, I think, has to do with the general interest in G-spot as opposed to A-spot. The A-spot is up near the cervix. It's up behind the cervix. Those are for our vulva owners that like it deep.
So you got to go elbow or shoulder deep.
No. I mean, when we have an aroused vulva owner, there is vaginal tenting, which can make that cervix area upwards of 6 or more inches away. So in some cases, length. Yes, if you like A-spot. Are you measuring your forearm from fingertip to...
Well, my forearm from my wrist to my elbow is approximately 12 to 13 inches.
I was going to say like 1.5 feet, maybe. Yeah, there's a little thing right there. No, from the fingertip. From the fingertip.
From the fingertip to my elbow, the inside of my elbow is 15 inches.
Okay.
Now, if you're talking fisting and actually balling your hand into a fist, you elbow deep.
See, okay.
Or just shy of.
Okay. So we need to add this as a little caveat. There are, excluding footing and or other toys, there are 2 different ways to go about fisting specifically. 2 different approaches.
There is.
So you're talking about making a fist, curling all your fingers over and making a fist like you were about to punch someone. Ideally, we suggest, in this case, tucking the thumb.
Tucking the thumb, you're going to have to...
make adjustments.
That's not for a beginner.
That method, not for a beginner. Absolutely not. But the other alternative is to stretch out your fingers and then bring them tightly together. So you tuck your thumb in against your palm and you kind of bring your pinky and forefinger up over...
your middle and your ring finger.
Middle and your ring finger on the palm side.
And it makes it...
like a cone.
Triangular shapes.
Yes. So this is a nice gradual...
stretch.
A nice gradual stretch. Yeah.
Don't forget the lube.
Lots of lube.
And if you're doing backdoor play, maybe a quick clean out before.
Yeah, because like you said, there is going to be some temporary stretching. That may last 15 minutes to...
couple hours.
Couple hours, depending on your body.
On your body and how aggressive you are.
Yes. So that is a really good caveat to specify. There are those different approaches to it. And I don't like to, just focus on my experiences, but from experiences in general, it is a good method to go in with that cone shape.
And gently fold your fingers over.
Finger by finger, folding it over.
And that gives the more filling feeling.
Yes.
To go after that P spot or that G spot.
Exactly. So you get that full feeling. And there is no fucking way you can miss the G-spot when you have a whole hand in there.
But I know somebody who could.
You always know somebody who could do something wrong.
I think we all know somebody who could miss it.
But generally speaking, you can't fuck that up. And when you have that level of pressure and filling, it's not just the G-spot. You are hitting all the exterior surrounding of the clitoris. You are, depending on how deep you're getting, you're hitting that A spot. And it is just this overwhelming experience of sensations.
So could you say it's fulfilling?
Ha. How you manage to fit dad jokes into a X-rated podcast is beyond me.
I wouldn't go X-rated. 18 plus for sure, but...
18 plus for sure. So based on feedback, clientele, anal fisting, what kind of reactions have we heard or gotten about that experience?
Mind you, these people are into anal play.
Yes.
Which is personal preference, personal choice.
Yep.
They've said they've been filled. But like the vaginal fisting, it is filling.
You're not going to miss that P-spot, which is very fucking elusive. People talk about having trouble finding the G-spot.
Oh, the P-spot moves around.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing is hard to find a lot of times. I don't know how the doctors are just like, whoop, oh, there it is, you're healthy. Do they fish around for it?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't wait till you go for a prostate exam. I want to know all the details. Do you think they'll let me watch?
I don't think I'll sign the consent form.
What?
No.
You want to feel violated?
I want to feel violated. I need to make a few bucks.
Oh my gosh. I don't think they'll do it if you don't sign the consent. I think that's pretty much how that works. You have to literally sign up for that experience. Anyway, do you think they'll let me watch?
No.
Damn it. Okay. So back to the feedback, the experiences. I definitely think there's a common concept of going into it with the mind of a challenge. Mm-hmm. I know I enjoy
toys
or anal penetration up to XYZ size.
Right.
Can we gradually, is more better?
It depends.
But I think that's what goes through people's mind when they choose that avenue for anal.
At that point, I think, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Is more better. And, for some people, they're like, yes.
I mean, with vaginal, you need a lot of lube.
Oh, my gosh. And patience.
And that is an orifice that is meant to stretch.
Yep.
Meant to take things in and accommodate.
With time.
Mm-hmm.
With time. I think there's a little less patience required for anal. Only minutely.
But you still need copious amounts.
Of lube. Yes.
You still need to have patience.
Yes.
And I think you need that little bit of help from the bottom in this case, giving that push.
Yes. So there's that caveat. We did do an anal segment, but let's give a little reminder. Mm-hmm. Slight pushing is actually relaxing.
Weird as it may sound.
When you are walking throughout the day and just going about your business, your asshole is nice and, closed off, ideally. Mm-hmm. By pushing gently, that relaxes the anal muscles.
It does.
Okay, so there is some very active bottoming going on there. The reason I say that vaginal probably requires a bit more patience is because of the bone structure nearby. The pelvic bone area.
I'm picturing the pelvic bones.
Might need to cut that out. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're necessarily wrong. When you're pregnant as a female, your bone structure down there does change a little bit.
Yes.
It spreads and separates a little bit.
Exactly.
Weird as it sounds,
the
bone structure does change.
It's true. They can...
To accommodate for...
Giving birth. Yes, they can tell from skeletal remains whether or not a vulva owner has given birth.
So I think it depends more on whether or not the vulva owner has given birth.
Maybe. From my experience, though, the tightness of the vagina means that insertion of larger objects can feel like it's pushing on that pubic bone.
Okay.
If you don't have the patience and the relaxation to work that area outwards, that pressure seems to feel like it's all on that pubic bone.
And it's not as pleasurable.
As for the anus, that's just got cushion all around it.
Yeah.
Once you're in that mindset and like that...
Just relax and go for it.
Exactly. It's less anatomically minded. Once that orifice opens up, raccoon it away. You know what I mean?
Both of them?
What? Yeah. I mean, if you're going for a twofer, both of them right on in there. Whoop! You could put two fists in there. Yeah, that's a possibility. Anyway, so yes, for those open-minded enough to start that process, and for us, it wasn't even a matter of erotic exploration at the time. This came from a medical curiosity and preparedness. Do you remember? Yeah, you're chuckling. Of course you remember. So we were together... She's 7, so we were together 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6 years. before we explored vaginal fisting.
Mm-hmm. Because why?
Because I was
right.
afraid of porno pussy.
Right.
Yes. Hey, I am human.
We are all human.
I was not born with all this sexual or anatomical knowledge. Like, this came from education, okay? I learned this.
And it's funny because you're not going to get porno pussy.
Nobody is.
You're not going to get porno pussy. You didn't believe me.
I know. There are many things that you tell me that I don't believe until I learn them from another source. Being non-binary, for example. These sort of things. Yeah, I always assumed you were just being biased and wanted to shove large things up my twat.
Well, there's that too, for science.
But also, I do want to add in a small little asterisk here, which is I am not harping on this, air quotes, porno pussy. It's fun to say.
Yes.
Vaginas, vulvas, they come in all shapes and sizes. I do not think that one is more attractive than the other, especially after seeing the wall of vulvas. Like, it's
that's a high school thing. That's something that starts with slut shaming in high school.
Exactly. So ours started off as a medical curiosity where we heard that by massaging the vaginal opening with particularly olive oil, I think it was.
Yeah. And this was for stretching and giving birth.
Yes. It can prepare the vaginal opening and canal to possibly avoid the risk of tearing.
Whether or not that's true is whatever.
I mean, it couldn't hurt. That was our thing. It couldn't hurt every little bit to help that process. Mm-hmm. Yay. And there was massaging going on, and the body was like, oh, yes, this feels good. And yep, away it went.
One thing led to another.
And holy shit, some of the best orgasms I have ever experienced. And I think that is a great way to move into this process, is a general curiosity. Start off with a massage of the area that you are looking to explore.
Start off with a massage.
I mean, a full body massage down to an erotic massage is a great development.
It doesn't hurt to be, for the bottom,
relaxed.
To be relaxed.
Absolutely.
Start with the shoulders and back. Work your way down. Mm-hmm. To the toes, and then back up the legs. And
I tell you what, my favorite part of a full body massage is the fingers and toes. I'm not a feet person, not to say anything against people that are. It just feels good. Mm-hmm. That is an area of the body that is very much overlooked. Fingers and toes, so freaking relaxing. But anyway,
when I used to go and get my massages on a regular basis, that was
one of the favorite parts.
Get the pressure points in my shoulders, and I don't care about the rest of the body. Get the feet and get the hands.
Yeah, I mean, we're using them all day. Anyway, sorry. Squirrel moment. Shiny things. I would like to add just little tips. I think we've hit the meat of the situation. Any other little tips? You mentioned cleaning out.
Yep.
We mentioned the core details before you start about
Remove
the fingers.
The jewelry.
Yep.
And if you have jewelry on your bits, depending on the jewelry, you may want to consider removing that too.
Fair. My tip was going to be, if we're talking anally and you're uncomfortable with it, or we could say vaginally for hygienic reasons, gloves.
There's nothing wrong with a little latex.
I mean, unless you're allergic.
Okay, yeah.
There are
non-latex
gloves.
Non-latex, latex style gloves, yes.
But it also brings in this little flavor of
maybe a little medical, maybe a little science-y.
Yeah. Ooh, you're giving me a look.
Yep.
What you got?
How would you, never been fisted before, think the easiest way to do it is?
Ooh, position-wise?
Position-wise for the bottom.
Ooh. All right. Never being fisted before vaginally, my suggestion would be on your back.
On your knees.
What?
On your knees.
Vaginally.
On your knees.
What?
On your knees.
I was going to say on your back with a pillow under your hips. Prop up those hips and bring your knees up a bit. So essentially the same thing, but...
So that's how we did it because of what we were working on at the time?
Uh-huh.
All the articles I've ever read have said first time, it's easiest on your knees.
Well, here's my suggestion. Get in a similar position. Mm-hmm. All right, on your back, pillow up under the hips, and then bring your knees up. So you're still getting that angle, but here's the thing. The top, or the giver, has more visibility to how the body is reacting. So that's my suggestion.
there's that. And that makes total sense.
All right.
The articles that I've read, and there's been a few,
okay,
have recommended you on your knees. It takes the pressure off the tailbone.
See, my concern would be putting pressure on the pubic bone, though. I think we might need to try it both ways.
Okay.
To say for sure, but I appreciate you bringing the article knowledge.
Yeah.
Every time we've done it, it has been
on your back.
On the back.
Because I love watching your face.
Love watching the face. You need to see those bodily reactions, and also it helps the bottom to relax. In my opinion.
And that makes sense.
It's opinion.
On my knees, on my hands and knees, or on my elbows and knees.
I'm not relaxed.
I'm worried about holding myself up.
Yeah, and you definitely need to relax.
On my back, I'm laying on a squishy bed. My head's on a pillow. I can just kind of chill out. And I see that too. I think we'll have to try.
Yeah.
We'll have to experiment.
For science.
Obviously. Because we don't do anything else.
Hey, now.
Just for science. So we can report back.
We do still have fun occasionally. I mean, it's all fun, but I mean, sometimes we do it for us as opposed to research. All right, position-wise, anally, though, I would change my answer. I would say on the knees with a pillow propping up your hips so that you can relax.
That makes sense.
Again, it's a accessibility for the top to make the angles and the visual of the orifice in question
just
more accessible.
Whether it's vaginally or anally.
Yeah.
If you're on your knees, the bottom has to use their words because the top can't always see their facial expressions.
See. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I mean words. Because when we're talking about this level of filling and overwhelming sensation...
You can cause damage.
Well, especially in the anus.
Yeah.
The very thin membranes and tissue in the anus. But no, when you have those overwhelming sensations, chances are you might grunt. You might groan. And those particular sounds can be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to use actual words. Slow down, stop, twist, push, pull. It's
bop
a fucking bop it. Twist it, push it, pull it. Yes. But that's also a good thing to note is it's not just a matter of pumping.
No.
No. Just turning your fist or hand over. Holy shit.
You're stuffing.
Stuffing.
You're stuffing a turkey.
Yeah.
Right? And you're trying to put a kickball, your fist.
A fist is not the size of a kickball, but okay.
Into something that, yes, it can stretch, it can move, but is generally the cavity size of a tennis ball.
I think these areas of the body are more used to accommodating probably the size of a tennis ball, as opposed to, for reference, a kickball.
Right. So you can be rough, but you need to be gentle.
Yes.
And you need to both communicate, use your words.
Oh my gosh, it feels like, goodness forbid, we talk about communication on every episode.
Don't we have a turkey to stuff? Come on, let's go.
Oh my gosh. All right. I think we've hit our time limit anyway. Is there anything else you want to add to this topic?
Lube.
Lube. As the opening of our episode say, you bring the lube. Absolutely.
In this case, I would use probably a hybrid.
Hybrid at minimum, silicone at best.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to keep applying.
Yep.
But a silicone is going to last a little longer than the water-based.
Absolutely. And give a much better glide.
Yeah.
I think so. And a much better protection for the tissue.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to use it.
No. It is a expendable material. Use as much as everybody's inclined to.
Use more than.
It'll be a messy cleanup, even if it's just lube. But, yeah.
And that's why we sell liberators.
Oh, those bed blankets that are...
Washable,
waterproof, no leakage through to the materials underneath them. I fucking love that thing. It's so soft and pretty.
Throw it out. Save the duvet cover. You're good to go.
Throw it out onto the bed.
Onto the bed, yep.
Okay.
Throw it in the wash when you're done.
Yes. All right. Then I think that about covers it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for a naughty limerick. This was a wham bam thank you ma'am kind of episode.
Nothing wrong with a little wham bam thank you ma'am.
We just stuffed it all in there real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. What you got?
There once was a man from Nantucket who ordered his wife to suck it. The rage she was brewing became his undoing, for she never swallowed without chewing.
Oh! Oh!
Sounds like he might have earned that one.
He really deserved that one. Yep. I think that's my new favorite one. Okay. That was fabulous. On that note, as gruesomely delightful as it was, say goodnight.
Good night.
Thank you so much, as always, for listening. Hopefully, we've brought some new information to the table for you, and we appreciate you even sticking it through, keeping an open mind, learning something new, and getting rough and dirty with us. So, in the meantime, till next week, stay you, stay beautiful, feel good, be naughty. Good night. We just stuffed it all in there real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Thanks again for listening to this podcast. I started Boink in 2022 with the goal to create a safe environment and culture for all genders and sexual orientations, to learn about and embrace every part of themselves and one another. We offer workshops, events, and various inclusive products, along with consultations, to make sure we take a holistic approach to enhancing individuals' sexual satisfaction with themselves or their partners. I believe that when you accept yourself and your partner on the most intimate of levels, it filters out into your daily life. The World Health Organization recognizes this, saying sexual health is fundamental to the overall health and well-being of individuals, couples, and families, and to the social and economic development of communities and countries. So as long as you'll have us, Boink will be here. Kink-affirming, gender-blurring, sex-fulfilling. And you can find any of our details at www.boink-ed.com.